Morning, everybody. Hi, nice to see you again. I'm Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, narcissist, coach, and I'm here to help you through another beautiful day. So here we go. Today we're talking about did you kiss a frog? And it turned into a narcissist. You know, one of the biggest lies, fallacies, myths about narcissism is that people assume that anyone who's in a narcissistic relationship must be weak. And people who are in the relationship think they're weak, because how could you be so duped? How could you allow yourself to be so controlled? You know, there's this whole piece of shame and blame that when you're in a narcissist relationship keeps you trapped. You know, your feelings are an accumulation of feelings. They're layer upon layer upon layer. And every time we have any sort of a trauma, whether it's we moved 10 times during our fourth grade, or a family member died, or there was mental illness in the family, or a natural disaster happened, a pandemic, or an earthquake, or you know, there's just so many things that cause trauma in our brain and in our body. And if we're not in a situation where we really understand what's going on, and we're not given the support from someone who's able to think through these things, we get trapped in that trauma. That trauma ends up trapped in our bodies. And what happens is you get triggered. Those traumas are neural connections. They're neural receptors in the brain. They're hot spots in the nervous system and the body. You've heard of trigger points. They're in your brain, they're in your body, they're in your nervous system. And these trigger points are those old memories. They're where you've been storing the pattern in your nervous system of old memories. And so a narcissist has a lot of those things too. They tend to be very empathic. The problem is for whatever reason, their coping skills are to attack, are to manipulate, are to hide behind lying or cheating. They need to hide behind things. And there's a lot of layers of defenses and a lot of layers of fear, and just like you now, built up trauma in the body. And so when we look at ourselves as being controlled by a narcissist, really what we're controlled by is our unhealed past. We're those physical markers that our body has been storing, which make us flip just like that. And we flip from being a rational, balanced, thoughtful human being into someone obsessing about one or two things and feeling so uncomfortable, either in their mind or in their body, that they sometimes have to depress it and push it down even more. When we start to realize that emotions have physical impacts, not just like some weird psychological, not like some weird, like you're broken, because you're not broken. It's just a side effect. Your body carries the side effects of your traumas. The thing is that people don't realize, and that I realize, and many other body workers realize, is that trauma is physical. Scars are physical, but they can be healed when you give it the right work, when you give it the right tools, when you give it the right support and nourishment. The body heals itself. Even emotional scars, the body heals itself. And what happens when we heal, what does that mean? It means that now things can flow freely through our brain and through our body, because our nervous system isn't locked up in all of these different areas. Our nervous system isn't locked up in our forehead, or locked up in our shoulders, or locked up in our liver, or locked up in our hip. You know, this is where we have hold patterns of that abuse, those triggers, those markers of those things that happen to us, of those traumas that happen to us that we haven't fully processed through yet. Maybe because they were too scary, maybe because we didn't tell anybody, maybe because we didn't realize how big of a deal it was at the time. Many people who have PTSD don't start to feel more effects, after around the original traumas. They don't start to feel more effects until a few decades later, because those markers are still in their body, but they've suppressed it. And only now are they ready to be able to process through it. They feel safe enough and nourished enough. Getting out of a narcissistic relationship doesn't have anything to do with predator, prey, victim, victimizer. It has to do with a situation which nobody knew they were walking into on a conscious level. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have. And now there's a triggering, a back and forth of people purposely or not purposely, either in defense or either because you can't see it, tripping people's triggers. And that ends up being a narcissistic relationship. So if you're in a toxic relationship and you want some help and you're a successful woman who's done therapies and healing work and maybe Reiki or crystals or essential oils or chiropractic or acupuncture or massage, all of those things maybe that you've tried, and you still feel like you get hijacked, and that emotional hijacking is getting in the way of you moving forward, is getting in the way of getting things done because you can't focus and your head is foggy and your shoulders are tense and your stomach's upset, or maybe your heart has trouble or other health issues are flaring up. If these things are happening, we can take care of them. I've got a 3-month program even where we go step by step, and you can unwind this stuff and you can feel better and you can start to change how you live your life and how you show up to life, because your body is different. Okay. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.